Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with this platform or watching the stream for the very first time, whether it be live or on the playback, the reason why it is called Uncommon Sense because here on this platform we discuss everyday issues where we try to find logical solutions. But not everyone uses logic. So, for that reason, it is called uncommon sense. I want to let everybody know that right now I'm currently live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Also, I want to let everybody know that the subscriber mode is enabled. What does that mean? That means that if you are not a subscriber and you wish to enter a comment in the chat, you will need to subscribe to the channel. Now, first of all, I want to give a huge shout out to all those who have already subscribed to the channel, whether it be from day one or whether it be from yesterday. I really appreciate all the love and support that you have given me. Also, I want to give a huge shout out to those who follow me on social media, whether it be Facebook, whether it be YouTube, whether it be Instagram, whether it be TikTok or Twitter. I really appreciate all the love and support. And I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who allow me to enter into your devices. So, what I'm going to ask you to do is the following. If you have none done so, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe, like, and hit the bell notification to all. So, therefore, whenever I do prepare any content, you will have the opportunity to catch it live or catch it on the playback. Now, before we get into the topic for tonight, one thing I'm going to be doing going forward, um, at least one night per week, possibly two. I'm going to be doing my streams around 9 p.m. or 9:30. Okay. And the reason why I'm doing that is that so that the people who live in the West Coast and in the area like Nevada, Utah, Montana, and Arizona, New Mexico, can catch it while they're eating their dinner. Okay. Also, I'm also been very busy working, doing a lot of overtime. So therefore, I have to plan my late stream on the night that I'm not scheduled to do overtime. So there's going to be one night that I'm going to do a stream around 9 or 9:30, and then there's another one which I'll probably do it between 7:30 and 8 o'clock. So just to give you an idea, I know not everyone can watch all my streams because everyone lead busy lives, but you can always catch it on the playback. And whatever you do, catch it live or catch it on the playback. I would really appreciate it if you hit that like button. It doesn't cost you anything, and it does help my algorithm because, of course, I want to be a successful YouTube creator and also want my channel to grow. And it is because of thanks of you that I have achieved the success that I have gained. Okay, so also, one thing I'm going to try to stay away from, um, get into the what the heck this is moment. The reason why is that I want to focus more on the topic. I mean, look, the fact of the matter is you're always going to have individuals that's going to make foolish or inappropriate decisions. Okay, and if that's what they want to do, by all means, let them do so. So that being said, what we're going to do is we're going to get into the main topic. Okay. Now, I also want to let everybody know that the link It's already in the chat if anyone wishes to join the panel. Now, as you can see by the thumbnail, uh, the topic for tonight is taming the peanut gallery. Now, I'm sure there might be one or two people asking me, why am I discussing this? And who is the peanut gallery? Okay. The peanut gallery is a collective of individuals who are not able to think constructively, who cannot handle criticism well, um, who run their platforms as an echo chamber. And if you heaven forbid you happen to have a view that's different from their views, they tend to react and they tend to lash out on other people. Okay, we have seen that not just here in social media, whether it be YouTube, Discord, Twitter, um, and all the other forms of social media. We all have seen that in our personal lives as well, whether it be with our loved ones or with our co-workers or things of that nature. So, so I have for that collective. I also have other names as the circus, and of course, we all remember last year when I referred to them as the mentally and intellectually challenged, otherwise known as the mix. They're also known as slow taps. Okay, and I see here we have Irby that's stopping by. Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to see you. Okay, now let me just get into why, like I said before, we will be dealing with these individuals, whether it be on these YouTube streets or whether we're dealing in our lives. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to discuss some things that we can do as far as taming the peanut gallery. Perhaps some of you may have some other things in mind. And of course, you're more than welcome to enter a comment in the chat regarding how to deal with these poor, pathetic losers, incels, whatever. One thing um, I would say is very important: always remain calm. A lot of times, these individuals they will act the way they do to try to incite a certain reaction. Okay, usually a negative reaction because let's keep it real. Some of these individuals feed on toxicity. Some of these individuals feed on drama. Okay. So what happens is when you're not able to remain calm and you lash out on these individuals, basically what you're doing in the fact is that you're enabling these individuals to continue doing their misdeeds. Okay. Also, depending on how the string goes, if I have participation, it could go for an hour and a half. If not, it'll probably be like an hour, maybe less. I just wanted to do my part and give you what I believe is something strategies of how to deal with these individuals. Now, the next thing we all need to do this, um, regardless if you are a YouTube creator or not. Uh, when it comes to dealing with co-workers, classmates, uh, family members, in-laws, any group of individuals where some of them uh, act immature, act irresponsible, act reactionary, in an emotional, reactionary way, um, we must set clear boundaries. And what do I mean by that? That means we must make it perfectly clear that there's certain things that we will accept, there's certain things that we will tolerate, and there's certain things that we will not accept and we will not tolerate. Okay. And everyone needs to respect our boundaries. And I mean everyone. Okay. Um, because most of us like peace. Most of us do not thrive on drama. Most of us do not seek trouble. It's as if sometimes trouble seeks us. Okay. Which leads me to my next point. Enforce your boundaries. Okay. Meaning, if you know that a certain words or certain actions bother you, and you have someone that's saying these things or performing this action that you find inappropriate, you need to let them know that. Okay, and you need to let them know that right away, because when you fail to do so, what that does is you are basically enabling them to continue with their misdeeds. Okay, and the reality is this: people are going to act the way they act, and we cannot control how they act. We can control the way that we're going to respond. Now, that's something totally different. Okay, so it's very important to make sure that we enforce our boundaries and make it perfectly clear that there are certain consequences uh, whenever anyone does not respect your boundaries. Okay. Now, recently, I had to disassociate myself from another YouTube creator due to the fact that this person was enabling um, the misdeeds of other YouTube creators. And I have tried to address this privately with this individual, but this individual chose to ignore me. So, that being case, I took the appropriate actions which I deemed was necessary, which was cut all ties. I mean, it's unfortunate, but at times you're going to have to be prepared to cut all ties. In fact, which leads me to my next point: be prepared to remove the members. Okay. Um, what that means is that if you have certain individuals that for whatever reason, whatever cause, whatever explanation, or so forth, um, they act inappropriate or say inappropriate things, and that you have requested that these individuals refrain from these activities, and yet they continue to do it again and again and again, then the logical course is to just sever all ties with these individuals, because you're not doing yourself any favors by associating with people who will continue to do their misdeeds. Okay. So, and I have done so. I mean, in my time as a YouTube creator, I had to block people from getting into my platform. I also had to block people from my social media. Um, I had to block people from Discord. I had to block people from Instagram. And because when everything is said and done, I value peace. I value stability. I value a calm environment. Okay. And if you ever notice, that's how I maintain both my platforms. Okay, I try to make it a safe space, a friendly space for people to share their point of views. We can all disagree, okay, but let's see if we can do it respectfully. Okay. And I also welcome those crowd watchers who watch the stream. Okay. The very least you can do, guys, is hit that like button. Okay. It doesn't cost you anything to do so, and I'm not asking for a donation from my Cash App. Okay, but if you wish to do so, it will be deeply appreciated. Now, one thing you need to bear in mind is that when one person speaks, the rest of us needs to remain silent. I have seen on multiple platforms when you have certain individuals that dominate the conversation to the extent that not everyone is allowed to express their point of view. Okay. And sometimes it can get into a shouting match. Okay. I don't believe in yelling to get my point across. Um, I am blessed to have a voice. I am blessed to have a vocabulary. So therefore, I'm able to express myself in a mature, calm manner. How people respond to what I say, that's totally up to them. I cannot control how people react. I can control my words, I can control my action to make sure that I don't say anything inappropriate. Okay. Which leads me to my next point. Um, Remove those who don't respect your space. Okay. Now, what does that mean? Okay. Those those who upset you need to understand that you need time to separate yourself from that person so you're able to calm down and then you can analyze what was said and done and then approach that person and try to have a discussion in a mature way regarding the alleged words or actions or thoughts that were inappropriate. Okay. However, not everyone is going to respect your space. Okay. So what you need to do is you need to make it perfectly clear that there will be consequences should they continue to disrespect your space. And if they continue to do so, then you just need to sympathize. Okay. Because I cannot speak for everybody else, but I value calmness. I value peace. I value a drama free, stress free environment. And at my age, um, the last thing I need is someone creating drama, okay, and making accusations which are not valid. Okay, so I just want to acknowledge the fact that 5 people are currently watching the stream. I just want to say thank you very much. Okay. Another thing that's very important, and sometimes we don't see it, is you need to be impartial. Okay. Now you can have leanings towards a particular point of view or certain beliefs that you might hold. That's fine. Okay. However, when you are interacting with others, you need to be mindful of the fact that not everyone thinks like you do. You also need to be mindful that people interpret things differently. So therefore, one sure way uh, to make it life easier for you is to be impartial and just be a good listener to what being upset and observe what being said. Okay, and be mindful that words can have more than one meaning. Okay. And that could be a little confusing, which is why it's very important that you must observe and you must know everything. Uh, One thing that you need to do, particularly if you're going to be doing streams or calling shows, or you're going to do any type of uh, content, state your disclaimers in the beginning. Okay. Now, I think I don't know if you noticed this, but before I let any guests appear on the panel, I always state the disclaimer stating that they may have views that are different from my point of view. Okay, and that for some reason, some people may be offended by a particular view that some people have. Because we do need to understand that we're dealing with all different types of people. Okay. However, when a guest does appear on the platform, that person is expressing his or her point of view. And there may be times when that person may not agree fully with what I'm saying or what I'm talking about. Also, there might be times when people might have a different interpretation in what's being said or what's being discussed. And there's no problem with that. Okay, we can, okay, at least on this platform, we can discuss our differences and we can discuss our interpretation when it comes to a given topic in a mature, responsible manner. Okay, as long as we're willing to have a serious discussion and share some thought and some evidence, or at least a good theory for you to back up what is you're saying or whatever is your hypothesis, okay, which is basically a big fancy word saying a point of view, okay. Um, you can have 10 people together discussing a topic, and you're going to have 10 people with 10 different views. And that's perfectly fine, okay? One thing that I stress again and again and again here on this platform, this is not an echo chamber. People are free to express their point of view. People are free to disagree with what's being said. Okay, okay. The key is let's do it in a respectable way. Okay. Another thing, unfortunately, at times what we need to do this is be prepared to mute people to continue to overtalk each other. Okay. Now I'm going to give you a perfect case in point. I was on the panel when Denise Gonzalez had her last stream, and there was an individual that took issue with what was being said, and at times, okay, at times it came across as the person that was being very emotional. Okay, and unfortunately, um, there was an individual that tried to overtalk the host. Now, this individual was warned, um, I would say possibly 2 or 3 times, not to overtalk the host. Unfortunately, due to the emotion involved, um, the person kept overtalking Denise, and of course, she had to mute the person. Okay. It's never a good thing to have to mute someone. However, However, each one of us has a responsibility to the rest of the panel and to our audiences that to try to bring some sort of order into our platforms. Now, I know there's some people who love to create chaos on their platforms and run wretched streams. I'm not. It's not my place to say yay or nay. Okay, every YouTube creator has the right to govern their platforms as they see fit. Okay, it's just that here on this platform and on my other platform, which is known as Latina Diaspora, um, I'm going to do everything possible to maintain a calm, chill environment for everyone to share their point of views. Now, what that means is I may have to mute people, I may have to warn people, I may have to put people in the backstage, or I may have to block people. Okay? Because when everything is said and done, the one that governs this platform, as far as the Latina diaspora, is Jose Negron. The one that governs Latin splaining is Denise Gonzalez. The one that governs how the platform is going to be with the Vertical Latina show is the Vertical Latina, and so on and so forth. Okay, because we have a responsibility to the audience, and we have a responsibility to those in the panel and the chat to make sure that there is some sort of order, calmness, and an atmosphere where people need to interact with each other well. Another thing that will help us use discernment with new people. Now, what I've been doing lately, that whenever someone that comes on the panel that I am not familiar with, I will ask that person to cam up in the backstage, and there is a reason why. You have certain individuals that bless their hearts for whatever reason they choose to troll, or or they will show inappropriate images such as male or female sexual organs. Okay, that will give you an order. That will give you an automatic boot, and you'll be automatically banned from the platform. Okay, because I am not going to let some sick individual do their chicanery and cause me to have my channel taken down. I try very hard to maintain um, good relations with the people who regularly here on YouTube. And the last thing I need is people showing inappropriate images and risking that this stream be taken down. Because I have heard of streams that have been taken down for inappropriate content. Okay. Now, the next thing to help you to deal with the peanut gallery is at times you're going to need ask help from your moderators. Okay. Now, most creators, particularly those that have been around for a while, they'll have a couple moderators to help you to make sure that no inappropriate activity is appearing on the chat. In other words, people not disrespecting each other, people not saying offensive words, people not making threats or things of that nature. Okay. So this is no moderators. and you know who you are, I've given you the authority as a moderator to block any inappropriate messages or block anyone from the chat that's being disrespectful towards me or anyone on the panel or anyone on the chat. Okay. And if I see fit to make you a mod, is that I value your input. I also value the fact that you're going to do your due diligence and help me to maintain a safe atmosphere for everyone to share their point of views. Okay. Which is lead to my next point, which is give moderators the power to block or make more like block. Okay. Okay. Um, Sometimes it can be hard for me to be trying to conduct a stream and then keep my mind on the chat and block people at the same time, which is why I entrust my moderators to do that. Okay. And I would say for the most part, my moderators do a fine job of blocking people who make inappropriate comments or make inappropriate accusations. Okay. But you do have to give them that authority to do so. Okay. But I don't micromanage my mods. Okay. I give them the authority to act. So I am expecting my moderators to do the due diligence, warn these people who make inappropriate comments, and if they continue to do so, to block them, put them in timeout, okay, or permanently ban them. When it comes to people that be permanently banned from this platform, uh, I make the final decision on that. Um, Now, my mods might suggest I ban this person or ban that person. Okay. When everything is said and done, I make the final decision. So basically, once you've been banned from my platform, that's it. There's no other appeal. Okay. Who you going to appeal to? You're going to appeal to the same person that banned you from the platform? I don't think so. Okay. Also, another another thing to be mindful, help tame the peanut gallery is as far as monitoring the chat. Now, of course, tonight there's very little activity in the chat. Part of the reasons is that you have another YouTube creator that's doing stream. And actually, I think there are at least two that I know of. Okay. And it's happened at times. I mean, it's a consequences, and there'll be times where certain people are not going to pop on my stream was live because they're watching another stream or participating in another stream, which is perfectly fine with me. Okay, because not everyone can be in all my streams. So I don't take it personally when things like that happen. I just simply, you know what? Okay, you know what? I'm just going to continue. And then people will catch it on the playback. Okay. So I do try to monitor the chat, but I also let my mods do that as well. Okay. That's the reason why they're my mods. Now, and they're there to help me to make sure that my stream does not go off the rail. And my final point, which is the one of the most important points, do not stoop to their level. Okay. Now, there's certain people that love it when they argue with them and they curse them out and say all types of nasty words, because to them it's like a rush. To them, it's like a drug. Okay, how, how did you stop people from doing this? Make sure you do not stoop to their level. Okay. I'm gonna give you a perfect example. Uh, Last year, um, I had to block a certain individual because this person was making false accusations that I was racist. Okay, and this individual failed uh, to actually come up with the receipts to state where um, I said a racist remark. Now up to this stage, I have done, between all my streams and all my shorts and all my videos, I have 417 um, video streams and whatnot. I have not said one racist remark towards anyone. And in fact, if you take a look at my on my platform, and as far as my moderators are concerned, it's a little bit of everybody. Okay, first of all, you have uh, a couple people from the African American community. You have Latinos. Uh, you have men, and you have women, and I also have those of the biracial and multiracial community. Now I have a guest. So before I let my guest in, I want to let everybody know that the views of those who appear on the panel are not necessarily those of the host of the channel. Any attempt to copy the material without the permission of the host of the channel is prohibited. By appearing on the call, you waive your rights to your image. Some of the views that people might hold may be considered offensive to some viewers. If you do not like the content, you can block the channel. My guest.
Hello, Don Jose. Can you hear me? Hello?
How you doing tonight?
I'm doing okay. How about yourself?
Okay.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. How you doing tonight?
Oh, okay. I'm doing all right. How about you?
I'm doing fine. Tonight I don't have to work overtime, so that's why I'm doing the screen this late.
After this, you got to lie down. Good, good. No, catch up on your sleep, catch up on your rest as much as you can, especially for us that aren't that young anymore. I mean, we do need to get our proper rest.
Yes.
Because it's like it's important. It's important to for our health. Oh,
Yes.
it just came by. I don't know. Maybe you were about to close up, but I'm dropping in at the last minute because I was checking out a different stream, but I wanted to show a little support. Now, um, I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember what you mean with the peanut gallery, and maybe you already defined this, so I'm sorry about that. But maybe if you
Okay.
can give me like the short
Okay. You know
version
what?
of what that means. Mhm.
Yes. It's a collective of immature, irresponsible people that lashes out to people if they have a different point of view.
Oh, okay, okay, I see. Uh, well, you can find them in any group, but instead of kind of like taking it personal, taking personal what they're saying. Let's try to actually pick apart what is it that they're saying, trying to get the context right, trying to the meaning right, because maybe they are saying something valid, but they're not articulating it in the best way. So it can come across as them griping or being mad or lashing out and things like that. So one can take a little moment and try to see past the emotionalism, because I mean there are people that when they're lashing out, well, obviously they are being emotional, but if one can see past that and see if what they're saying actually makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, then they're being full blown emotional, and there is nothing to think about. There is nothing to talk about, because you cannot reason with emotional with somebody who is being emotional. You can um you can reason with rationality. I mean, but you can't reason with emotion. Somebody's being emotional. Well, all the one can tell them is to, like, okay, take it easy. If they can to take it easy, if they can articulate it better, so that one can understand that better. Whatever it is, whatever the problem is, whatever it is that they're having a disagreement with, that's how I see it.
Well, you do you want to know how I was prepared to deal with this youth? Actually, believe it or not, as my role as a union representative, because I have to deal with all different types of people.
Okay, I have seen that you have done a couple of live streams in which you are talking about a contract. Is that what you're talking about? Something
No,
about your
actually,
union?
what I've
Hmm.
done, yeah, well, actually, what I've done is I have used my platform to give my fellow members of of my union, my local, the latest information regarding a tentative economic agreement that we reached as far as money is concerned.
Hmm. Okay. So there, well, did you have a good outcome to it? I mean, you don't have to say details, but did you have a good outcome?
Well, let's keep it real. I mean, the audience, it's not always that great, but it's out there for those who wish to, who wish to view it. Now, when I'm referring to how dealing with as a union rep, how me prepare as a YouTube creator, I'm dealing with um, when members have issues and they don't always act logically, and sometimes by interaction with other union reps when they don't act in a calm manner, and sometimes dealing with management as well. So I don't know if you understand my meaning.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm not very versed when it comes to union type of things. I've never been on a union myself. Where I'm at, they're not allowed. So I'm not well versed when it comes to how unions function. I understand that the unions are about representing the what is in the best interests of a worker body, for a company, and they can be instrumental when it comes to negotiating, like better pay and better working conditions and benefits and things like that. But outside of that, I'm not well versed on other things that what a union does.
It's understandable, but what I mean is that it helped me prepared because, as you can tell, Ramon, we have some very interesting characters in these YouTube streets and in social media.
Ah, right. Yeah. There are some very interesting characters. I agree.
Okay, so the whole point of the topic, taming the peanut gallery,
Hmm.
it's to deal with a collective of people who have difficulty to react rationally, who act emotional, who sometimes they'll yell and scream and carry on. Um, so, and I've seen like in different platforms where the host will try to illustrate a point or two, and sometimes there are a couple of people from the panel, they get very emotional and they start to lash
Mhm.
out and argue with the host to the
Yeah.
extent that they have to mute it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's kind of what one opens oneself to when it comes to the so-called YouTube streets, because people are hiding behind their avatars, so they don't feel like they have to be as civil as one most likely will be if it was kind of like a meeting face to face and people were adjacent physically to each other. But there are certain people that, because they know that they can hide behind an avatar and they're in a whole other city, in a whole different state, that there wouldn't be any immediate consequences to them getting all aggressive and uncivil, getting disrespectful. Me, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. I believe in being the same way that I will be in front of a person. I act the same way. I mean, that's why you never really hear me trying to get into an argument with people, trying to cause anybody out, because that's exactly how I will be if I were in front of the person. So that's how you and I grew up. I mean, you and I grew up. The only media, the only way of communication that usually we will have available will be the phone, and sometimes even on a landline. I mean, I was using landlines until the 2000s
Yeah,
because we weren't. I wasn't using the cell phone all the time. Of course, that changed later on, um, but I try to keep the same behavior, whether I'm talking to somebody or over social media, over the phone, in person. The dynamic for me is always going to be the same. But there are
yeah,
people that don't have to do that. I mean, if they get all aggressive on social media, if that same person you roll up on them, the behavior is going to be very different.
yeah. Which is why there's certain individuals I have to like block or ban from my platform because
Hmm.
unfortunately they did not respect my guidelines. They did not respect the rules of the platform. Now,
Yeah,
everyone governs their platform as they see fit. But here, well, you've been here multiple times. You know that I try very hard to maintain a calm and peaceful environment for everyone to share their views. And we can disagree, but we are
yeah.
able to uh, what's our disagreements? Like how many times me and Denise had disagree over stuff, but we never, for the most part,
Hmm.
we never made it personal.
No, no, no. Of course not. I
Yeah,
know what you mean. I know what you mean. Hmm.
yeah. So, it's just that this is something that so this week I'm dealing with more like interpersonal issues. Um, this Thursday I'm going to be doing a stream regarding trying to find a balance between work and family because sometimes we can put too much emphasis on our work and we can neglect our families. So the whole key is to
Right.
try to find a balance because it makes no sense if you work 25 hours 20 hours a week and you don't spend time with your family and then next thing you know it you're a perfect stranger to your loved ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. And on Sunday I'm going to be discussing a very unique in a topic is where we as baby boomers screw up.
Mm. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, and I have heard many things about many opinions. I have heard opinions about the baby boomers, but I'm gonna keep it to myself. I'm not gonna get into that here. And if I have a chance to attend your live stream, we'll talk about it then. But I have heard things.
That's
I have heard things about. Uh, I know you have already heard some opinions about that, but what I have heard, for the moment, I'm gonna keep it to myself. But I have heard things.
well, okay. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I have struggled with some of the things they say about baby boomers. I have
Hmm.
struggled, but at this point, I'm at the stage where I have to admit, okay, there was areas that baby boomers screw up. Okay, and
Okay.
if you take a look, a lot of the stuff that happened, uh, going from the '60s and the '70s and what have you, um, baby boomers are we're partially responsible for some of the screw ups.
Okay.
Okay, now that took a long time for me to get to reach that point, but I have to. But if I'm
I
gonna, go
uh-huh.
ahead.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So the click on something and started playing audio. Yeah, I'm listening. Hmm.
Okay. So I reached a point where okay, I have to I'm at peace with the fact knowing that at times we baby boomers we did some poor choices.
Hmm.
Okay. So at this point, um, I cannot speak for all the baby boomers, but I can speak for myself. And I can
Yeah.
say, okay. And I can say, okay, I can confess, okay, in this area I screwed up. In this area I could have done better. In this area, maybe I should have thought things differently. And hopefully by being honest and simply stating where we messed up, that
Hmm.
future generations will not copy our mistakes.
Yes. Well, you know what? Hopefully that works out. It's just that what I'm seeing from the following generations of the generations that follow us, it's very alarming and disappointing to a degree. I mean, because these are this the next generations, they're to be the ones that are gonna be leading society. And when you have a generation of young people that they don't even know what gender they are, I mean, how the hell are they gonna be able to lead society if they don't even know what gender they are? Yeah, I
Well,
know.
I got to ask. I got to say this too, man. You know, since you got all these guys that don't know what they're doing or anything like that, I got an easy solution for the young people. Did what
Uh,
did what the boomers did. All they did was smoke weed, and look how we turned out. We got Donald Trump, and we got what's his name, Biden. That's it.
yeah, yeah. That's not
Oh,
very reassuring.
oh my goodness.
I'm like, I had to go and make a joke right here and stuff. And since the Chewbacca from Washington Heights calls me an ape anyway, and I just saw the movie Cocaine Bear. I was like, you know what? Let me just make this character right here. You know.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, just okay. Well, just to bring you up to speed, the topic for tonight is taming the peanut gallery.
Man,
Now,
you can't
you have
think.
experiences with the peanut gallery. Would you say so?
I mean, yeah. To me, is this the only thing that the peanut gallery actually respects is violence and cursing and curse words. So my thing is this: in order to tame the peanut gallery, you don't get on their level. And what I mean not getting on their level is because I've seen that most of the people in the all the people in the peanut gallery, the ones that we have interceded with or intermingled with, I'm not saying are most of them are cowards. Because think about it. Take me for instance. I've seen people that have gone and told me, "Oh, I'm not this or anything." Okay, why don't you show your face when you're making those accusations? So if they're not showing their face and they're so sure that they have proof on where I come from and everything like that, I want to see your face. So that means that most of your stuff, when I say what I am, y'all going off emotions. Y'all not going off of facts. So therefore, the emotional thing of me being a fake whatever, they have no solid proof. Not even that guy, what's his name, Danny. He says, I got all the proof. I got the papers. What paper you have? Because apparently none of y'all, well, I'm going to take that back. Most of them haven't seen me face to face. I seen one member of the peanut gallery. He wasn't even comfortable in his own skin. Let's be honest. For a person that says that he's a conqueror. So
Mhm.
that's my piece.
Okay. Wow. Look, as I stated before, now I have a different approach when it comes to the peanut gallery. Okay. First of all, first of all, um, I'm not going to engage in yelling or screaming or what have you, because basically all you're doing is it's like giving it a rush. So you know what you do? You block them, you mute them, you remove them from the platform. That's it, and that's a more worse punishment with someone that has an ego that's the size of Texas and California combined, who loves to be the center of attention.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
And
Golden
I
G.
see here Gigi on the chat. Good evening. Thank you for
Hey
stopping
Gigi, how
by,
you
Gigi.
doing?
Okay. Oh, before I forget, let me just let everybody know that both the intro Perica and Don Armando and Gigi have their respective platforms. Okay. So I'm gonna ask that you check out their content and subscribe to the channels. Now, Don Armando airs his platform material several times a week, so you have an opportunity. It's okay, Gigi. You're still in time for the party. To check out his content. Ramon, okay. It's once in a while, but it's like fine wine. You have to. It's worth the wait. And with Gigi, she has multiple platforms, and she does a podcast with Tea with Multi and me. So I'm gonna ask you, if you have not done so, please check out their content.
Appreciate the
And
plugins,
I
Jose.
apologize. Yeah, and I apologize for the commercial break.
No, I appreciate it. Hey, Golden, it's not too late. I showed up late too. It's not too late for you to click the link.
Yeah. No. Anyway, you're welcome, Gigi. Like I said, if you're able to hop on, fine. If you're not able to hop on, I can understand, because everyone's busy. I mean, I've been busy myself, doing 40 hours of overtime a week plus my regular job, plus doing now two platforms. So I keep
Hmm.
myself busy.
Hang, hang. No, you said something about being off tonight. Get your rest. Get your rest, because you don't know until when it's gonna be the next time
Actually,
that
believe it
you're
or
gonna
not,
have
I do
a
know.
night off. Hmm?
Actually, I believe it or not, I do know.
Ah, okay, that's good.
Okay, because what I do is on a weekly basis, I will set up. I will send my schedule when I'm available to overtime. Okay, which is usually 5 early mornings in the week, from midnight to 8 a.m. Okay, Now, people wondering how I managed to get some sleep. I grab a nap
Yes.
here, I grab a nap there, I do a power sleep, and I'm not gonna lie. Last night, I actually managed to get some sleep on one of the empty rooms at the hotel.
Ah, all right.
Wow.
So,
Was it 5 star?
uh, no, I mean, I don't know. It was ever okay. I don't know what it was ever 5 star. I mean, look here in New York, we have um, received more than 50,000 of these so-called asylum seekers, of which we're taking care of 30,000. So basically, we're opening up um, emergency shelters where hotels used to be, and then the hotels are charging the city a certain amount of money to house these people, and then we gotta house these people, feed these people, make sure that the children get enrolled in school, make sure the children, these people get social services and what have you. And unfortunately, some of these people are entitled.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's somebody that I know that from the Dominican Republic that he actually me and him was actually talking the other day, and he said that he came through New York through the frontera with how should I say he actually came just to over the frontera, and he's been here in New York. I was like, what the heck, you here? I was like, I'm glad that you here, but dag, I didn't know you did all that.
Yeah. Do you know how much you know how much money is costing the city to
Billion.
house billions to house, feed, and make sure the children are in school, and then our beloved mayor wants to have these people get a free college education at the same time.
Okay, you know what? This is what I gotta say. Like I'm like okay, um, a free college education. Are you kidding me? I'm just saying. Eric Adams must be smoking that Chiba. That's all I gotta say.
Okay. I gotta be a little bit careful because I'm a municipal employee, and let me make this perfectly clear. My comments do not represent the views of the city of New York. I'm just simply
Got
stating
you.
my own personal point of view. Okay.
Got you.
Now we got hundreds of thousands of people that have huge amount of student loan debt, and we're talking about debt as small as six figures.
Right.
Okay. For whatever reason, I don't know. It's not my place to say why or what have you. So we got citizens here with huge amount of student loan debt, and we're going to educate people who just recently come to this country for free.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, if you really look at it, right? And I'm just saying, like, as far as politicians and everything, that to me
Mm-hmm.
is is gonna be I don't think it's going to be possible just because of how things run in this country. So one thing that it was how should I say Bernie Sanders that actually said, oh, he was thinking about free tuition or anything like that. But the way that this country is built, colleges and whatsoever, colleges in this country is $1 billion industry. Let's keep it for real. So for each student that they get, I mean through colleges or whatever, you think that when they say, "Oh yeah, we're going to do this for free and we're going to educate people that just came over the country, the you got certain people that will do it. But then you have certain people in the higher ups that they will not support it because maybe of their party affiliations or their personal beliefs or whatever. So with that said, it's just it's gonna be a big feat if a person saying that he's going to do that without no opposition.
Yeah. And I hate to say this, but some of these people are getting entitled. Okay. Let me just give you a case in point. About a week or so ago, when the temperature was slightly chilly, like in the 20s or the upper teens, for me, that's slightly chilly. There was a young mother from one of these asylum seeker people. She had an infant child outside without a coat on. So
Wow.
then,
Yeah.
so then I asked her, why are you allowing your child to go outside without a coat on? You know what she said to me in Spanish? Why I need to know that? I
Hmm.
happen to be part of this Department of Social Service staff concerned about the welfare of your child. Did not contact ACS on you. Of course, I didn't say that to the mother, but
I
I mean,
mean,
it's like, and you cannot, and you have to be mindful what you say because now these people have advocates telling them you can get this, they can get that, they can get away with this, they can get away with that. So you got to be mindful of what you say to these people.
yeah. And it's like, and I could say that it's just, I could see it could be it could be a flip side and it could be a bad side. So that's how I'm seeing it. Because you know, since you have a lot of people with political affiliations and what have you, it's gonna be it's gonna be a mess, a garbage storm. Actually, when you actually get when some of these people who actually feel entitled because they don't know better, and then the people that say that they do not want them here, whoever they may be, to me, and all to be honest, certain people they want to put the fear propaganda that certain people who come here come from affected countries where narcotics is prevalent. So they're trying to use that adage towards certain asylum seekers.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have certain nations that might be poor or whatever the case may be, and they do not have these troubles. So what's the what's the end game? That's what we have to ask.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know what it is. You learn how to hold your tongue, and basically all you can just do is tell these people, well, you need to come back, you need to abide by the code of conduct. Okay. But one person actually told one of these asylum seeker people that if they didn't like things, they can go back to their country, and the consequences, that person was not allowed to help to continue with the project.
Oh wow! But for some reason,
Ramon, yeah,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
sorry, I just want to get Ramon's input for a minute. So, what you thought about what I just
Yeah, because you were saying about the people that are coming in, the migrants. You're talking about the migrants.
yes, the asylum seekers or whatever or what these people.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you have to look about the what is causing the problem, because I'm sure that these people don't wanna leave their homelands. But uh, people can complain all they want about them crossing the border, the illegal thing, calling them illegal because that makes them feel really good. But you have to think about why is that? Why is it that they're having to migrate? They're trying to escape a situation in which that could be costly. It could cost them their lives. I mean, I don't really, I don't fix my mouth to talk badly about them, that why they don't feel their countries and things like that. But one will have to look at what's the root cause of it, what the problem is. Why is it um why is it that they're having to migrate? And that's a continuing problem that they might have. They may be having in their homelands, in their home countries. Now, if they migrated, okay, I get it. I understand. There is a need that they're having, but the thing is that once they get over here, and there are some of the migrants that start getting like really comfortable. I'm hearing these stories about how some of them are being lodged in certain hotels, and then they don't want to leave, and they think that that's gonna be their new house and things like that, and they don't want to leave, so they can be relocated to another location where maybe they can be processed, but that will be kind of like a downgrade from because some of them, from what I understand, are being lodged in somewhat more upscale hotels that are very costly to the city, and they're gonna have to cooperate. They're gonna have to adapt to the situation and maybe downgrade in the situation, as long as it is humane and nobody's getting left out in the cold. Um, but they're gonna have to do better than feeling entitled to something. I mean that they're being helped out, but they shouldn't feel entitled to anything.
All right. To talk about the migrants, right, and the asylum seekers. I was actually watching this other YouTuber, a successful YouTuber by the name of Peter Santinello or whatever. So he was in the border. And then I've watched different stories on how certain certain immigrants that, for example, if a person came from another nation other than Mexico,
Hmm.
they might be blessed to come in, but as soon as a person say Mexico, they're actually turned back. And that's what a police officer, I mean, in one of the border towns, was
Hmm.
actually saying. So I'm like, wow, with all these migrants that are actually crossing the border and everything, and then your people are just picking and choosing. Certain people will try to say, why y'all leaving your land? Y'all can make it better. But yet, if you're not in a better position, I mean, financially, what's a person supposed to do?
Hmm. Yeah.
See, I don't have a problem with people wanting to have get a better life. Okay, I don't have a problem. Okay, what the problem when it's a problem is that people need to understand and appreciate that when you come into another country, you need to at least try to make an effort to adapt to how things are done here in the United States.
Hmm.
Number one, and number two, you should not neglect your own people that because we have had people, we had multiple thousands of New Yorkers in the shelter system to begin with, and people who've been in the shelter system for over a year now. Okay. We have municipal employees living in shelters. Okay. Okay. And just as we go bend our backs backward to deal with these people, we should do the same thing to our own citizens. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is equal treatment for all. I don't blame anyone that wants to come here to get, to get a better life or escape whatever it is. Okay, fine. I can understand that. At least try to make an effort to adapt somewhat to how things done in the United States.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. No, they have to. They have to. Some of them will have to be giving a good pep talk about it, and no, 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 no. They can't come over here with entitlements. That's they need to leave that somewhere else. I understand that they're going through a situation, they're going through need and all, but yeah, nobody else didn't have anything. Yeah, they're gonna have to
Yeah.
understand that.
Yeah. Okay. Exactly. And look, uh, last week, um, there was one person that wanted the biological father to be removed from the facility for multiple reasons. So I said to the person, we can, okay, that could be done, but mind you, if that's done, he will not be returning back to the facility. And then he wanted to have his own place, and he wanted to have his own place like right away. And I have to try to explain to him that that's not how things work. That there is a process. That we have New Yorkers that's been in the shelter system for over a year waiting for
Hmm.
permanent housing. And if anyone is familiar, uh, in the big cities like New York, Philadelphia, Chicago, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and what have you, rent is very expensive, particularly if you're coming into a new country and you don't have a great deal of financial resources.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
So, all you can do is you try to explain it to them. If they accept it, fine. If they don't, well, I mean, at least they were told.
Hmm.
So,
One thing that I think we have to stop, and this is I'm speaking as us as a Latin collective, is that people who are not doing too good in Latin America, right? Let's say they have a relative or something like that. So
mhm.
in their minds, they think that we're doing good. They don't know the hardships. You might talk to certain people on social media, and to them, they think that you're living the life when the fact is you're really not. So one thing is that we need to destroy within the Latin American collective is we need to destroy the thought that everybody that goes to the Western countries, America or Canada or Europe, is all of a sudden rich. When the fact is, it's not the case. Once you destroy that myth, and you tell people you have to work hard and everything like that,
Hmm.
I think that entitlement will go out the window when you actually tell people what is the real from the get-go instead of pushing a fantasy life through media and other presence of social media or TV, whatever. If you show people, okay, if I'm going to come to this country, I need to contribute something. You would see that certain people will not have that notion of, okay, I have to do this, that, and the third. When the fact is, you just have to conform. I'm not saying conform and change their culture. I'm saying to conform and try to be an active, a productive person in this society that we call the United States. So we need to
Mm-hmm.
destroy the myth of to Hispanics that when you come here you're going to be rich. No, it doesn't work that way.
No, no, no. Unfortunately, yeah, there are people that think that you're going to be picking out gold out of the streets, like they say in Scarface. And no, no, I mean, there is a chance there might be an opportunity, but it can be a bit of a culture shock for some folks. It's not that simple. I mean, that whole notion that just coming here means automatic riches. Nope. Nope. This is
Yeah.
that's when the work begins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's keep it real. We have some people who never know what it is to experience snow. Hey, Gigi.
Hey guys, how are you? Hey Jose.
Hey
Hi.
Gigi, how you doing?
Good,
Hey,
how are you
Golden
guys?
Girl, what's going on?
Hey, hey guys.
Hey.
So, well, the original topic is taming the peanut gallery. Okay,
Hmm.
it just kind of morph into something into like an open forum discussion, and I'm
hmm
sure you have some feelings regarding the peanut gallery.
You're muted.
Hold on, sorry, I had to move closer to the Wi-Fi. I'm outside in my car. Um,
Okay,
what's the peanut gallery specifically?
okay, it's my name for the collective of immature, irrational people who cannot deal with honest criticism, who lashes out on anything that say that's slightly contrary to what they believes.
Mm-hmm.
And these are people not just here in these social media, but in our personal lives as well.
Mm-hmm. I don't have too many people like that in my real life, but yeah, there's some definite
I know.
characters on YouTube. Everything seems kind of quiet lately, though. Nobody's really bothering me too much, thank God. So, what's going on with y'all?
Well,
Oh,
things.
same old time.
I'm sorry.
Hmm.
I mean, things have been quiet. Things have been quiet over here. Of course, I try to keep it a chill environment.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's actually kind of sad. I mean, everything's really quiet, which is good. But I will say, at least from like my sector, it really goes to show how mm, competitiveness, jealousy, and all of those things can really destroy things. Because I feel like we were all building and growing and getting our names out there. And then all of those things came into play. And now, if you think about it, it's like, where is the sector? Like, where are these people? It's like a ghost town. Like, the infighting will literally make you destroy yourself if you're not careful.
I mean, yeah, you gotta admit it is true because aside from, certain people being doxxed in whatever community that you're in or something, at the end of the day, half of these people, I mean, some of the people that I've came across who were mad just because I had a certain person on their show. As soon as I was warned that they're known doxers and everything like that, and they're into their feelings, I went up and I blocked certain channels from ever trying to contact me because at the end of the day, That's if I went up and I talked to a person, we just had a good conversation. Then the next thing you know, somebody's calling me Duke and out of my name, and trying to, and in their twisted mind, want to try to want to try to say what I am or what I'm not. And then you have a whole bunch of individuals that really do not know me, but yet they see me talk to in other platforms and such, so they think they know me. At the end of the day, when you have certain people that just have an opinion of you, and then the opinion just in their mind they think is a fact or whatsoever, I'm not going to go and sit there and listen to a whole bunch of immature people who are supposed to be mature, who are supposed to have professional jobs, to comment on what they think I am or what I'm not. Because at the end of the day, some of these people are not going to show their face. Some of these people they could do all the doxing they can, but if you was to tell them meet me face to face, they will not do it.
But Don,
And
who was the
nine
doctor
times,
you had on your channel?
huh?
I mean, I know Bluish had gotten upset with you or maybe said something about you, but who was the doxer that you said you had on your channel that they were mad about?
Nah, it was like, okay, I'm not saying the doxer was not on my channel,
Oh, okay.
but but somebody went up and hit me up and told me that certain individuals have been involved in doxing. So as soon as they gave me the word as okay, these people are involved in doxing people, I just went up and I blocked them.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm not gonna go and promote their platform or anything like that because at the end of the day, I went into a space and we're just talking a good space. And when I went up and I logged in, I always showed my face on camera in the back channels. So why is it you're gonna go and think of who I am or what I am? I showed my face when I got in on the panel. So who who is this Duke, first of all, because I don't know. And then second of all,
Well, I will say that Duke is a very nice person. So if you had to be called anybody, it wouldn't be so bad to be called Duke. He's a really good guy. But I don't know
right,
why I used you with Duke, to be honest. But yeah.
yeah, because and then on top of it, I guess since I had a certain guest on my channel, there was they were saying all this stuff. So when somebody went up and hit me up, it's like, yo, that person is known for doxing people. I was like, okay, what's doxing? And they gave me the definition. I just blocked them.
Yeah.
I went through all that in 2022. I'm not gonna go through that disrespect again.
Yeah.
And then it's funny because I was privy to certain information about a certain person, which I can't stand,
Hmm.
and it turns out that the man is a loser. I mean, think about it. I'm not gonna go around and say that I'm the best person. I'm not rich or anything, but the person who is like my main nemesis, right? He's it turned this is what's sad on Ramon. How the heck you're 45 years old, right?
Uh-huh.
Went up and attended community college, but didn't make anything of yourself, right? You live in a house with you live in a house with your father and stepmother. You work in Burger King, but yet you have all this time to go and promote
Bye, Irby.
hate on TikTok and YouTube, and you call yourself an alpha male. You call yourself a a conqueror, but yet you're 45 years old and you do not have your own place.
Hot
I don't
damn.
see that.
Damn. Well,
What?
are you sure?
Sorry.
Is this info reliable or is some garbage that somebody gave you? I mean, maybe
Well, it
because they
came
don't like
from
that person either. I know who you're talking about, but
Yeah.
damn,
But
45 to live with
It
his
came from the
parents.
short with the dude beating down his door. That's what he's talking about.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about, right? I think you commented on it, Ramon. Did you see that?
hmm.
Say again. I didn't hear.
On that little short that I had where the person was like talking about they wanted to smoke and then somebody was banging on their door. That's what he's talking about. Saying, "Shut the hell up," or whatever.
Okay. We're talking about. I'm talking about someone else. I think I saw something about that. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I remember seeing that video. Oh,
Yeah, that's
oof.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah. He was talking all this smoke. He was talking all tough, and all of a sudden, because he was talking loud, all of a sudden somebody was going like that shit was funny. That shit was funny. I remember. Wow. Oh, that's what you mean. That's what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh man.
So I didn't know you
Wow.
had problems like that, Don. With hybrid or whatever. Hybrid's been quiet as far as I've seen lately, so I don't know what's going on. I'm out of the loop around here. What's going on, Jose?
Okay.
Actually,
Uh,
okay. Actually, he's been talking some other. Actually, kind of like. I guess for him, it would be considered more semi-normal content. But of course, he comes across as very nasal. But to each one's own. Look, I am too busy to be worrying and to care. Okay. First of all, I have two platforms that I'm producing content. I'm doing a lot of hours working overtime. Plus, I got some personal stuff I got to deal with. So you think I'm going to be caring about what some person from Canada who never stepped outside of their city, never mind their province, commenting on how things ain't done in the United States?
yeah. I mean, they're the ones that talk the most and know the least. We see them all the time because, golly, I mean, there are certain types that just recently, certain somebody who claims to be Dominican and was putting a post on one of my older on my older channel in which I have a short video when I was in Sosua. You know that Sosua is kind of infamous, but I happened to be there visiting the area with my friends, with my local friends from the DR, right? And this so-called Dominican started talking about you Boris, you bow down to blacks and talking like that. This guys, I know who they are fans of because they a certain friend of ours because they don't like her because of who she married to. And there are certain so-called Latinos that are still very hurt about that, and they come to my channel talking about that we Puerto Ricans we bow down to the blacks and,
So
and
is this
refer to them.
about the problem that Denise is having right now with people?
It's been a while. It's been a
Oh,
while
okay.
that has been happening because I mean because of who her significant other is,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
Okay, so let me just see. So you're saying that a whole bunch of fanboys, right? That's
yes,
what I'm calling them.
they are.
Yeah, are
Yeah.
mad,
They're still mad.
are mad of
Uh-huh.
a certain woman who is actually educated, who is
Yeah.
actually married
Uh-huh.
to an African American.
And if that's
Hmm.
But
her
yet,
picture, she's beautiful as
but yet
well.
they want to get mad. They want to get mad and all this other such, just because of that. I
Yes.
mean,
Yes.
I
They're
remember
incels. They're mad incels.
no, for real though. It's like for example, me and that person, we were just talking about it, how one of the incels, Mr. Restaurant,
Oh.
yeah,
Who's Mr. Restaurant?
Um, Actually, his name is Dominican Renaissance, or as I call it, Dominican Decadence.
Oh, okay. I'm unfamiliar with that person.
Trust me,
Oh,
and
hmm.
trust me. So the guy, I spoke to him a few times. He sounds. I'm just gonna be honest. He sounds like a girl, but but the thing is though, it's like with him, his his purpose is just to be is just to try to spread white supremacist values within Latin America. So with that said, and when people say of who they are, these are the ones, the detractors that want to try to find out who you are and everything like that. When the fact is, they don't even know who they are. Let's be honest.
Have you guys like came to terms with the fact that I realized in my time on YouTube that when you have like race discussions, that it literally attracts the weirdest, most insane people to your space. And so I kind of think about that now when I'm like, you build like
Yeah.
a whole audience off of like
Oh,
trolls and
yeah.
weirdos and freaks. You know what I mean? Like not that my
Yeah.
whole audience is, but I'm saying like the space attracts that, obviously, as we all can tell, right? You know?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, it attracts a lot of incels, and
Mm,
I keep saying this: incels, you have to watch out for them because they can be dangerous. Incels are they're a problem.
yeah.
I mean,
There is a
if,
lot of that. There is a lot of that on these YouTube streets, as they call it.
if you actually look at it, right? Some of these guys are incels because look at the form on how they diss people. Let's say, for example, me and Radical, right?
He's here. Oh,
We're both married men. You know what I'm saying?
hmm.
So, with us being married men, what is the first thing that some of these incels go around and try to say? They want to try to say something about about our wives, because let's be honest, no woman will ever talk to them.
Yeah. They can't talk to a woman because they're such incels that they don't know anything about interacting with a woman. They are incels. Incels don't have any game.
Hi, Radical.
Um, hey,
Yo, what's
Radical.
going on, guys?
Yeah.
Hey,
Yo,
hey,
what's up? What's up? What's up?
radical.
What's
Radical,
up?
you don't fuck with me no more.
Well, what you mean?
I'm just joking. I just haven't seen you in a while.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm avoiding you. No, let me stop. Let me stop. What's going on, guys?
It's so
I wouldn't be
We were,
surprised.
we were talking about, the peanut gallery, the ones that don't take a bath,
Oh,
to the ones that don't that try to rewrite history just to fit the white supremacist narrative.
oh, gotcha. Yeah, there were a bunch of interesting individuals.
They're not interested at all, because one man's talking point could actually put you to sleep. I'm I'm gonna be honest.
But the part that I don't understand is why are they attacking Denise? Isn't Denise's platform based on brown and black unity? So I'm confused.
It seems like
Okay.
it seems like maybe
I'm sorry. Go ahead,
her
Brad. Go ahead.
it seems like maybe her the way she voices her opinions is something that they don't like, or the truth that she says they don't like. It's really
Like the
it's
Latino say she don't have hair on her tongue.
yeah, it's really dumb. Like, oh, you shouldn't be speaking about this certain situation or a certain topic because you're not X, Y, and Z, which I understand at a certain point, but in the same time, the majority of the Latino community does live in black communities and vice versa. You know, black communities live in Latino communities. So I I, I feel this is how I see it. If you're not telling them what to do and you're just saying, hey, listen, this is the problem I see, X, Y, and Z, and just leave it like that, then we could talk about it all day, because at the end of the day, our community is not better off. I've never gotten on streams talking about, well, I see black people do this, how come y'all can't get yourself together? I've never done that, because at the end of the day, my community is not better off. Things I do talk about is, oh, I see this and this and this happening in this community, let's talk about it, how come this is an issue, you know what I mean? But it seems like certain individuals, get triggered or pissed off about it, and it's to me it's hypocrisy. That's
Oh
how I
yeah.
see it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but if you're trying to make unity
Talking
and you're
about
coming
that.
out and you're like, oh, you're lazy, you're this or that, I mean, that doesn't breed for like unity because it makes people defensive. And let's be
Well,
honest, the
yeah,
black
because
community does not like
well,
criticism,
yeah. The
you
thing is,
know.
Denise is not talking about people being lazy. Denise is not talking about, hey, this is what y'all doing. How come y'all can't get yourself together? She's not criticizing whatsoever. All Denise is doing is saying, hey, this is an issue. Let's talk about it. These are the stats. Let's talk about it. That's all. You know what I mean? Last time I checked, news anchors do that. Daytime television shows do that. So, how come individuals on YouTube can't? You know what I mean?
You know. You know what?
Radical. Those people lack common sense. That's why this is why this
Well,
platform is called Uncommon Sense.
yeah, no, you're right, but also, it seems like in the same time, outside of that, it seems like there's a certain form of hypocrisy. For example, in the beginning of my channel, the first things I started going at for I've been on YouTube for like 3 years already. In the beginning of my channel, what's the first thing I started doing was cleaning out the closet of the Latino community. Was I not? Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was cleaning out the closet to our community, calling us out and saying that we got to improve. This is what's happening. Blah 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 blah. I wasn't saying nothing positive. Everyone, and I said everyone was cheering. That's right. That's what I'm talking about. I got interviews from all these pro blackity blacks places, and everybody was like, yeah, tell us more about how Latinos ain't shit. You know what I mean? So the thing
Yeah,
is,
they weren't used to that. They were used to hearing that.
so the thing is now that I said, okay, I pretty much exhausted that point. I'm going to flip the mirror back and I'm going to say, okay, your community is not as well as our community is. Let's talk about it. That's basically it. We're not blaming people. We're not saying this is your doing or whatever the case is. All we're doing is flipping the mirror back, and it seems like now those same people that were pretty cool with us talking about our community now is going like, oh, you can't do that. Oh, this is racism. So it's just a huge. I see it as hypocrisy. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Well, I saw
Yeah,
one person
and
that seemed
Rob,
kind of
and
offended
actually,
over there, and that was a little bit weird because they
right.
always seem to get along very well.
Which one is gonna go? Golden or Jose? Jose, which one?
Yeah, it's just that we're hearing.
Yeah.
Okay, go
Okay,
ahead,
Gigi.
Gigi.
What's
I'm
up?
sorry.
What's up?
Oh no, I was just saying that I only saw like one person over there that was kind of like feeling some type of way when I was over there, which was a little interesting to watch because they always seem to get along so well prior.
Well, yeah, it is what it is. People are gonna get, people are gonna feel some type of way. It is what it is. When I started going at Antonio Batista, I was the first one out of
Mhm.
whatever sector we might put ourselves in, but I was the first one to do it and constantly do it. Debunk his BS, debunk his way of representing Latinos, especially Dominicans, because I saw that as a negative thing. And I kept on saying my message was he does not represent us.
No, he doesn't. And
Whatever he says, whatever he does, that's on him. And I even went as far as to figure out how come he started feeling these type of ways and how come he got this ideology, to the point when he went viral. I was contacted by one of his ex-employers to have an interview. That interview is still up. I interviewed him. This guy was working with a full black team, secretly hating them while he was working
Mhm.
there. But yet, when he was getting in trouble, when he was getting beat up and cut up and all that other stuff because he didn't know how to damn drive a truck, those same black people were helping him out. But yet, he was going out every morning in his truck showing the damn logo of the company that he works for, going on these little racist rants.
Yeah.
So, so
I remember that infamous video
exactly.
that he
So
put out.
the
Mhm.
thing is, I am fully aware of the degeneracy of my community. I'm fully aware of that. I don't hide from it. I talk about it and expose it every day. How come black individuals, black people here in America can't do that? For some reason, when people do call them out, they're coons, they're sellouts, they're Uncle Toms. You know what I'm
I,
saying?
I don't know, radical. I do come across many videos in which there is a
Yeah.
black American putting on Front Street another black American that
But
is messing up.
that's not the majority though. Those
That because
are
that's on the conservative side, which is
those
the
are the
majority.
conservatives,
Yeah.
not the majority. The majority of the people are the ones that keeps on talking about, well, white supremacy this and white supremacy that, which I understand holds a huge thing. It holds a huge weight. I understand that, but it
Mhm.
doesn't do it justice 100%. We have to understand that, and I've been saying that for the beginning. Talking about white supremacy and breaking that down since the beginning of my channel, and I even said it myself. Yes, I was a victim of white supremacy, but I learned how to maneuver around it.
Mhm.
Everybody can do that. You
So
feel
are
me?
the Latinos took it better when you were, like you said, pointing out whatever
No, I
issues
had a
y'all
lot of
had?
Latino hate. I
Yeah.
had a
So
lot of
that's
Latino
normal.
hate because I was airing our dirty laundry. I was called a
Mhm.
fake Dominican. I was called I am not Latino no more. I'm just black. I was called a bunch of other names. So the thing is, the Latinos didn't like the way that I was putting out our dirty laundry. Yes, it was more negative than positive, but the thing is that I feel like we needed to take that bitter pill, stop acting like Latinos are the greatest thing on planet Earth because we got our fucked up shit too.
I'm gonna
Oh, yeah,
talking about that, right?
we just take great pride in the positive of us, and we kind of
That,
like
Exactly.
because of
Yeah.
the
that,
What
that,
he
negative, we
said
kind
Is
of
is
there
like
he
some
said
try
is
that
there
to
some
dirty
keep
positive?
quiet
laundry,
about it.
it's
Yeah,
like
is
other
there
Uh-huh.
some
black people
positive
too. It's
stereotypes?
cultural.
Of course. You know, we're probably great dancers. Yes, we're the romantic type. Of course. Yeah,
We're
there's
passionate
positive.
and lovers and things.
Exactly, the lover, the person, but yet those are positive stereotypes. But the reality is, some of us will have 3 or 4 or 5 secret families. Some of us is gonna just cheat on you on the first month. You know what I'm saying? So some of us might not be so truthful. So my thing, my
oh yeah. Another thing
And don't
what
forget
I
about
meant
the
to say
drug
is,
problems
and don't forget about the abuse too, because
and the abuse. Yeah.
if you really look at it, right,
yeah,
you have
the
you
femicide and stuff. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, because if you actually look at it, you have certain people that they have the mindset of, okay, yeah, we're in Gringolandia, and you better follow our culture and stuff like that. And then most of the people that actually have those mindsets, they don't want to educate themselves or anything like that. And then their beliefs pass on to their children, and then their children didn't live here, so therefore they might have to have a different thing. And then the next thing you know, you have certain people that will be messed up, and you got certain people that will be praised. And then
yeah,
and then the people who are messed up and stuff, or they think like, oh yeah, you're this that. Some of their children might be affected badly
yeah.
to the point that, you know,
No,
oh,
no,
my
I
family
get it.
don't
No,
think about.
I get it, but this is the thing also, and when everybody is a witness to this, I've when I've debated Latinos when they had those little racist beliefs. The first thing that they would say is, "Well, black people are drug dealers," and I'm like, do you not know the greatest drug dealer of them all, Pablo Escobar? Come on, he's Colombian. That we celebrate people like this. You
Okay,
feel me?
those people that say that they don't know about Pablo Escobar, Chapo Guzman, Griselda Blanco, they need
Exactly.
to research those names. I
Exactly.
mean,
So I'm talking. So what I said in
I
the
think everybody
beginning,
knows.
I said Latinos, we're not that better off. We need to be 100% real. And because I kept on doing that, I was basically ostracized and say, well, he's not really Latino. He doesn't really represent us. He doesn't have our best interest. He's too blackified. And all this other stuff. So it is what it is. Now that I'm flipping the mirror back and I said, okay, my people had enough. Listen, let's talk about y'all problem now. Now we're vilified. Now with the issue. Now I'm changing because I don't like Tariq Nasheed and all this other stuff. No, let's just keep it 1,000. There's certain ways that we have to talk about certain things, and I've gotten to the point where I said, okay, Now that I've basically said what I need to say about Latinos, let's talk about the other issue also. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that because I'm not criticizing. I just said let's have a conversation.
But yeah, but radical. You know what it is? It's one thing. We're easy to to criticize how other groups act. However, when we have to hear some of the things that we do wrong, all of a sudden where it becomes sensitive. Okay,
See,
we
no, see, this is
at
the see,
least we should.
this is my thing. This is my thing. When
Yeah,
other groups, first of all, let's not pretend like we don't know. There's black folks that talk about Latinos all the time, right? Let's keep it 1,000. The thing is, this is where it's different. When certain groups talk about Latinos, they do it in a way as they're experts. They do it in a way that they say, well, they do this because of this and this and this and this and this. And I had one experience with a Mexican and da 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 da. So they do it in a way that's very disrespectful and it comes off like they're being experts. That's something that I have tried to avoid from doing. All I have done from the beginning was, hey, I've noticed this is an issue. I see this in the same thing in the Latin community. I could criticize my community. I'm not going to criticize somebody else's, but let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Do you think this is right? Do you think this is wrong? That's basically it. My last stream that I had that apparently had fucking 3 to 4 people recapping it, doing reactions to it, found it disrespectful that I was talking about a stat that I found interesting. Not once did I say the reason why black women are picked last is because of blah, blah, blah. I never said that. All I said was I've dated black women and I've never experienced that. I've experienced the same negative stereotypes that they say about black women from Latinas. That's what I experienced. But this stat is very interesting. Let's talk about it. That's all I've said. And for some reason now I'm getting crucified. You feel me? And it's insane.
Now,
Well,
for example,
black women are like, in my opinion, the group that have the most, like, even if they hate each other, they will like stand 10 toes down. They support, they rally. So yeah, when you go against the sisterhood, you know what I mean? It's gonna be problems. That's
No,
why,
I get it, but I
yeah.
didn't say nothing negative about
No, I know.
black
I'm just saying.
women. You know what I mean? And it just went from, for some reason, I don't know why, it just went from black women getting picked last on dating apps to the gender war. Well, black men does this and black women choose. I'm like, where's this all coming from? Because it just completely derailed.
Because all that shit leads into the gender war, which is all this shit is pick a side, pick a side.
Yeah, I find it completely stupid and idiotic.
Mhm.
To be completely honest, it's dumb.
that's
Go ahead,
why
Jose. What's up?
that's why I refer to these people as the peanut gallery. I also could refer to them as the circus. Last year, I referred to them as the mentally and intellectually challenged because they're all challenging one way or another. Whenever you're not able to accept constructive criticism and reflect, and maybe there's something I did wrong, or maybe I could do better. All of a sudden, people get butthurt.
Yeah, I saw Denise's last live stream that was somewhat a continuation of mine's, and dude, she went more hard than I did in my life. You know, she's the one bringing up stats and actually having these conversations, like saying like, how come this is happening? How come this is happening? How come this is happening? And I'm like, okay, well, there you go. She's putting it out there. And the thing is, it just felt like she was being met with the same type of like idiotic type of, well, in the 70s it was because of this and this and this, and I'm like, dude, when are we going to stop about going back in time? Can we just talk about something like how can we like try to solve it right now instead of finding like excuses? You know what I mean? And I think it got to a point, Jose, that you even came in and you said, I'm sick and tired of hearing about things that happened 500 years ago. And
Yeah, because you know what?
Yeah, the
Because
stream
look,
was lit. I was even there, like.
because right, Rad, because we could talk about all this until it's doomsday, okay? The thing is, how do you deal with the issue? How do you solve, how you solve solution problems? It's easy to talk about stuff that happened 500 years ago because when you do that, you don't accept accountability for your actions. We cannot control the fact that this country was founded by racism. Okay, the thing is how you respond and how you act that determines what
Yeah,
type of
listen,
person you are.
I was a victim of stop and frisk, when it was implemented.
So
What
was I.
exactly? If I was way more melanated, I bet you I would have been a victim a lot more longer. I remember it was one time in the summer for a whole month, every day I will get stopped and frisked, every to the point where I even knew the cop's name who would do it. You know what I'm saying? For that whole month, like 1 month every day, I kept on going to work late. So the thing is, I was a victim of that, but I knew that wasn't going to stop me from achieving what I needed to achieve. That didn't stop me from moving out of the Bronx and actually, going somewhere else. You know what I mean? So I made sure that didn't quell me. Now, do I get somewhat PTSD from it? A little bit. You know what I mean? When I get stopped by a cop, so I feel some type of way. But was but am I going to keep on using that as an excuse why Latinos aren't improving in America? No, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna say is individuality, because certain individuals who are in a messed up position, who are in these communities, who are what is downtrodden. Some of them will choose to do bad, and some will choose to do good. It's just individuality. That's all it boils down to. Which one is more easier? More easier is to do bad, get that quick robbery in the bodega, run up out of there, and now you got $200 that you could either survive for like a couple of days or flip and get drugs and buy and flip it again. You know what I'm saying? So which one is easier, which one is more harder? And a lot of people choose the easy way out.
Yeah. I just want to acknowledge that Reese from Philly is in the chat. Good evening, Reese. Thank you very much for stopping by.
Hey,
But
Reese.
one thing I've said that it's better to light a candle than to curse the darkness. You can complain about the darkness until you're blue in the face. How are you going to deal with it?
Exactly, and again, I see. I'm not oblivious to the certain ill wills that's happening in the Latino community. Are there certain Latinos who are better off in certain areas of the country? Yes. Go to California. Latinos are thriving out there. They got businesses. They got certain food chains. They got certain supermarket chains, and they're all Latinos. Shout out to them. Some of them are Anglo Latinos or Anglo Hispanics. That doesn't really count, but it is what it is. That's for another conversation. But the thing is, certain Latinos are thriving. At the end of the day, does that affect the whole community? No, because in LA, there's still gangs. There's still messed up neighborhoods. There's still individuals that are willing to do brown on brown crime. And the thing is, it doesn't translate here in the East because there's no big, huge Latino run stores and food chains and stuff like that. The smallest thing that we could probably do is like um have like two barbershops. You know what I'm saying? Something that, oh man, that's my dream. You know what I'm saying? That's basically it. But I haven't seen it in a large scale as I've seen it up in Cali. In Florida, the same thing. Some Latinos are thriving, but it's not an overall thing. It's not going to tip the scale for the whole Latino community because there is some Latinos who are downtrodden. There are some Latinos who are messed up in the game. So the thing is, it goes to an individual level, and that's how I see it. I see it as an individual type of thing.
Um,
Mhm.
Not to interject, radical Latino, but I tagged you into something on Instagram. I think it was yesterday because there was an incident that actually happened, I guess, on Sunday or whatsoever, involving a autistic kid,
Oh
and
yeah. In the subway and all that.
yeah,
Yeah, that's an old video. They're recirculating that as something new. Apparently, They confused that autistic kid as somebody else that was a part of a gang that gang was beefing with.
Yeah,
Is
and
it-
I heard something like that, and it was like confusing because when I saw that, and then it was like, oh, this person was doing this, doing that. I was like, and then they're talking about healing and everything like that. So I wanted to get what your personal thing is since you're
Yeah,
in the New York area.
when I saw that video, I automatically first of all that's in Washington Heights, 181st. That's on the A train. Some people thought that was Staten Island. It's not. First of all, I needed to know some more information on that video. And other people on Twitter were tagging me on the same thing too. And come to find out, it's actually an old video. It's like 3 or 4 years old, of a bunch of high school kids basically just took this other kid from from the subway because he resembled somebody that they were beefing with or whatever the case is, and they were gonna jump him because one of the other kids got jumped the other day or whatever the case is, and that's all it was. It's not a racial issue whatsoever. Even though in the video you do hear these little Hispanic kids talking about N-word alert, N-word alert, N-word alert. But I chalk that up to like ignorance, and I chalk that up to gang mentality at that time. It's a gang and gang thing. It has nothing to do with what Latinos really think about. It's just these little thug ass little beaners walking around here thinking that they're all tough and bad until the police come.
I mean, yeah,
Wait, the kids were saying nigga alert, nigga alert. Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, the kids
yeah.
will talk about N-word alert, N-word alert, N-word alert as a way to antagonize the kid. But at the end of the day, they did that because they confused this kid as somebody else that they were beefing with, and so they found. But they all got arrested though, so it doesn't really even matter. They all got arrested, and I think one of the girls, she got. I think she only got 8 months, and the rest of the other kids that jumped this kid, they got 2 or 3 years.
Wow.
Hmm,
It's like a what? Hate
crazy.
crime?
I don't know if no, they didn't make it as a hate crime. They
Oh,
put it down as a gang, as a gang assault because during the altercation, these motherfuckers were so dumb enough to throw their gang sets
oh,
and
they put up gang signs. Oh,
yeah, they were
oh,
putting up
okay.
gang signs throughout the whole thing like a bunch of idiots.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hmm.
at the end of the day, when you actually talking about game sets or whatever, it's sad because and Radical, you could actually vouch for me for this. It's sad that you see a certain community that used to be together and law abiding citizens to the point now that you have people who are beefing. And the origin of a beef is, I guess, because of somebody that wanted to try to take over a neighborhood or whatever. It's been it's been to the point that you see certain people of the same people group we're beefing in a country that ain't ours, or or their parents have good hopes for these children
Yeah,
to the point.
dude, you have to understand something. A lot of people want to believe that Latinos and Black people are completely different. No, we share
Yeah, we
a
do,
lot of similarities.
we do,
Latinos are very tribal, the same way how Black folks are very tribal. Latinos are very religious, the same way how Black folks are very religious or spiritual, or however you want to go to it. You know, if you're not really
Mostly
religious.
Catholic. Yeah, but
Exactly.
some type of Christianity. Mhm.
Latinos know how to party. Black folks know how to party. Latinos know
Mhm.
how to throw it down in the barbecue and know how to cook. Black folks do the same exact thing. They got little house secrets and little house specialties for their food. So there's a lot of similarities when it comes to Black folks and Latinos. Now, when we're talking about this certain situation, yes, it's very sad and it's very it's something that shouldn't have happened, but we have to be very honest that these kids were part of a gang and they were going out of their way to make sure that their gang was perceived as strong, and they targeted somebody because they thought that they were part of another gang. So this is all on gang BS. You know what I mean? It has nothing to do with the representation of what Latinos really think about black folks or whatever the case is. It's some gang bullshit.
So
You know what I
what?
mean?
Somebody making that clip to make it appear that way, like it's a representation.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
because I
so
mean, the kids do sound like little assholes and racist, but
well,
that
of
doesn't
course.
obviously have anything
Yeah.
to do with the whole
What was
race.
it? Yeah, because you have a same clip. I think was it a couple of years ago. I seen the same clip where a bunch of black kids were antagonizing this little Mexican girl and calling her a wetback. You know what I mean? Like calling her
Yeah.
wetback, all this other stuff, spake this, spake that, until they jumped her. So it goes both ways. They just use that as antagonistic at the moment. You know what I'm saying? It goes both ways. Now,
Hmm.
this is the issue that when people share these type of things, they'll start retitling the title and say racist hate group of Hispanic kids targeting black. You know what I mean? When in reality, it was all a gang thing. You feel me? And they don't represent the mentality or how Latinos move.
Yeah.
The same thing, vice versa. Like when black kids do this, that doesn't represent what black kids do, or the larger black community. It's just a bunch of gang bullshit.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wish a lot of people would do a little bit more research when
I'm from
certain things like that
Florida,
comes up.
so the Spanish kids and the black kids hung out. You know what I mean? So
What happened?
I said I'm from Florida, so like the Spanish kids and the black kids, like we all hung out. You know?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Usually when two sector of races like the Latinos and black kids are grouped in, like in New York, New Jersey, Florida, even in Boston. Funny enough, I've seen that stuff happen in Boston. They're grouped in together. There's no ill will. There's no animosity. It is what it is. And the funny thing is, you start seeing a lot of similarities within two groups. You know what I
Like
mean?
for
You start.
like I'll tell you a story. You know, like how certain people they want to try to have like, okay, like certain Hispanic groups got beef because of whatever, right? So I had a Mexican friend that I went to high school with.
Hmm.
So I went to look for him because he was not there. His parents did not know who I was, and I still thank my friend to this day. They didn't know who I was, but guess what? They went up and they gave me. They had a whole dinner prepared for me and everything like that. And I keep telling people that, yo, not all people are the same, because at the end of the day, these people did not know who I was from anything. But they went up and they was like, yo, come in. Had a whole feast and everything like that while I was waiting for my friend. So my what I'm trying to take away it what I'm trying to tell people is that don't believe the stereotypes of what another person says. So if you have a friend of another culture or anything like that, try to learn their ways. Not learn their ways to say to incorporate their culture as yours, but I'm saying to learn their ways to see, okay, how you could be more respectful towards their culture and everything. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, I believe that.
So have you gotten like crazy attacks and a bunch of like crazy stuff happened to you on YouTube in this like plight of yours?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I've gotten individuals saying that they're going. They threaten my life. A couple of white supremacists talking about how if they ever catch me, they're gonna put a hot one between the eyes. Um, and a bunch of other nonsense. So I'm like, okay, if you do, make sure you don't miss. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
what can you say about that?
Well, I'll tell you my case. Well, my case, as you know, a certain idiot went up and got mad and was talking bad about my wife. So me being from the hood, I told him I was gonna kill him.
Mhm.
Now, with that said, people want to try to say, "Oh, you shouldn't have done that." What some of the people don't understand is you don't go around and diss people's wives and everything like that. I saw the coward in the Dominican parade. We could have got it on right then and there. But I went up and I made the decision. Okay, I'm not gonna go do this in front of kids when it's a glorious day. We're repping our culture. Who the heck is this idiot? This person still is going to become an idiot. And 9 times out of 10, this person is not really successful as you radical. And 9 times out of 10, they're not affecting nothing. They're not affecting politics. They could go and have a narrative of what they're gonna do or what they're gonna say. When we actually know the facts, is that some of these people, they want to make themselves into grandiose whatever.
But not
When
really be that.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I
No,
know exactly
a
what you're
lot, a
talking
lot of
about.
people, a lot of people are very successful and rich and well traveled on YouTube, but that doesn't
Yeah,
represent
yeah.
that doesn't mean that it's true.
That's a
When
hundred
they're away
percent.
from the
That's 100%
computer,
true.
they could be bomb broke
Yeah,
motherfuckers.
that's 100% true.
And they're all
But they
experts.
can be
Don't forget they're
celebrities.
experts.
Yeah, these
They're,
people
they're
be talking.
celebrities in their own minds. They're rich and powerful,
These people
and
are talking about. These people are talking about. Like, look at my mansion. Look at my mansion.
yeah,
Hey, I
we
fell
all,
for
we
that.
all,
I
we all
fell
have
for
in
that
the
and then I
background.
saw it on a couple channels. I'm like, oh, hold up, that ain't that person's house.
Yeah, yeah.
Look at
That's a
my
StreamYard. That's
mansion.
a StreamYard background talking about that. That's their house. Yeah,
Exactly.
right.
Like
Me, me, me,
anybody can
me,
see that.
me personally, if I was to be a successful YouTuber, one thing I want to do, I just want to be like in. I want to do like, okay, for example, I'm not using this guy as an example because I guess he's locked up now, so I guess he'll be a bad example. But I'll do the Andrew Tate thing a little bit.
Mhm.
What I mean by that is, okay, I go to a foreign country or whatever the case may be, right? I I do what I do, which is as far as, okay,
Pimp.
I make my cash or whatsoever.
Get to the point, bro. Come on, land the plane.
I know, but
Yeah,
the
we
point
don't we
down
don't
the,
we don't need another we don't need another good teacher here. Put it
Yeah.
on.
no, I know.
Oh,
The point that I'm trying to make is, if I'm gonna be a YouTuber, I'd rather just be in a secret place where nobody could dox me or any place like that, whether
Yeah.
it be the United States or overseas. So that way you could actually have a peace of mind.
Is that
Listen,
possible?
I don't do this just to get rich or famous or anything like that. I'm pretty well off, in my real life. I just did this for a passion thing. It just so happened that this passion of mine landed me, on certain podcast lists. This passion of mine made me speak on 2 or 3 colleges. So I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. Let's see what else can this passion of mine also, create. Should I put more time into it? I definitely should, but I feel like I'm. It's not. It's just it's like a side hobby of mine. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
Because I try to practice what I preach a lot of the time. I do employ Black and Latin people in my own jobs. I try to get certain things for our people to do, and it's kind of hard because a lot of our people either don't want to work or they don't follow through with things. You know what I'm saying? So
okay. They don't have the discipline and kind of like to
yeah,
be
yeah. So
consistent with.
right now, the only people I really have at my shop are college kids, and they're all black or Latino. You know what I'm saying? So I want to just keep it like that until like maybe I'll grow a little bit more. But when I remember when I had my gym, the first thing that my business partner said, which was very disrespectful, I had to check him on that. That's the same thing that I did. I think I said the story before. I don't know if you guys heard it, but I basically hired half of my block, right? Because I wanted to give everybody opportunity.
Mhm.
And after maybe the second month, this my partner comes in and he goes like, "Hey, why does it look like Harlem outside?"
Mm.
And I looked at him. I'm like, "What do you mean? It looks like Harlem outside?" And he's like, "No, no, no. I'm just saying like it looks, it looks really urban." I'm like, "Yeah." So I told him what I did. I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like I hired everybody that I know. We need people. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Even though most of those people were coming in late, coming in high.
But Harlem, right?
Yeah, most of those people coming in late, coming in high. I had to fire one of my friends' cousin because he kept on drinking on his break and coming in drunk. Um,
Yo,
God.
that sounds like my job.
yeah. So my very first hire, my very first being a boss or whatever and hiring people, I had to learn that even though I want to do good, I shouldn't be hiring everybody Pookies and Ray Rays all over the place.
Mhm.
So I didn't even have to do the firing. Majority of them, like out of 27 people, I only had 4 that stayed. Everybody else left. Everyone else left saying it was too far, it's too much work. This is a gym where the most work you did was put a goddamn 25 plate dumbbell back. That's it. You know? So they
Okay.
were mostly on their phones. So you really didn't have to do too much work. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the thing is that most of them left, and I had to like do a mass hiring, and that's when I started to learn. Even if I want to help my people out, everyone doesn't want to be saved. And
Yeah,
even though I want to do good, everybody doesn't want that good. So you just
No,
gotta
focus on the
basically, yeah,
yeah. Focus on the ones that are willing to show the discipline to
yeah,
get on your
yeah.
program. I mean, focus
Yeah,
on them.
and good
Everybody
and good
else, let
thing
them go.
and
Mhm.
good thing when I started to do that, I started to see a change on the work environment. I start to see more positive outlooks on certain employees. I started hiring white folks, you know what I mean? So
Mm.
it started to be more of a diverse crowd and everything. But now because I had such a long time for my shop, a long time to open up, I started to do the whole okay, let me wait and actually canvas these employees out, and that's what I did for a whole 2 months. I kept on. I gave them like maybe 3 interviews back to back to back,
Okay.
and just so I could know if this is the right person. Mind you, they're college students, so they're I understand their passion isn't going to be just the shop. It's going to be what they're working on, but at least they're coming in with some sort of like pep in their step, you know.
Okay.
yeah.
But anyway, listen, guys, thank you for having me. I'm out. Peace.
All right,
All
take
right,
care,
All
peace.
Max.
right.
Be
All
safe.
right.
All
Take
right.
it easy.
Bye.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right. All
So,
right.
yeah, yeah. Well, I'm gonna wrap this up because it's almost 11:30, and us
Mm-hmm.
old folks need our sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we do.
Actually, actually, I'm gonna I'm gonna be doing a stream someday regarding the mistakes that the baby boomers have made. So I'm gonna be talking about that, and Denise will pop in hopefully, and we'll discuss where we screwed up and how we can do
Oh,
better.
she's gonna roast you. She's gonna roast you. She's gonna have a long list of shit to come at you with. Watch.
Yeah, that would be funny.
But you know
Yes.
what?
What is that cocaine
But
ape?
you
I
know
feel like I've
what?
heard that somewhere.
Well, what was that, Golden?
What's that cocaine ape? I've heard that somewhere before. What is that thing? I don't.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if that's the name of the movie, but there is a movie that came out recently about a bear that ate I don't know how many kilos of cocaine because it was being trafficked, and a bear found it. And the movie is about that. It's something that happened in real life. I think it was in the 1980s or something like that. But the animal died because you can't ingest a whole bunch of cocaine
Yeah.
because it's gonna kill you. But they took
We went up
liver.
and embellished the story. They
Uh-huh,
embellished.
Okay, they made a
the
movie about it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, Jose. I
a
was
cocaine
curious about
bear. I
that.
think it's called Cocaine Bear. The actual name of the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it's
and
a
I just
comedy.
want,
Mhm.
and since me and my wife we went to see it on Saturday, which was my birthday. It was a great movie. It was one of the last movies that Ray Liotta did, and
Ah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah. I
and
remember.
it was a great movie. Also, um, by any means or whatever, I went up and I put Cocaine Ape since some of my haters call me an ape anyway. So I was like, okay, I just seen the movie, and whenever I come to Don Jose stream, I always put like some funny character or something just to make them laugh.
Okay. All right,
Well,
Jose. Thank you for having me up. It was good to talk to you guys. It was a great stream.
all right.
All right.
All
Thank you for
right.
stopping
Until
by,
next
G.
one. Until next time. Take care.
Yes. Good night,
Yes.
guys.
Good
You
night.
too.
So now I'm going to start to take final remarks. So I'm going to begin with the person who wants to go in Times Square in shorts on New Year's Eve to watch the ball drop, who wants to be buried alive in snow, who wants to go to Orchard Beach and swim in the water over there, whose passion is to go to Alaska in the middle of winter. The
Ugh.
introvert. Ah!
Ugh, Don Jose, how can you say something like that? I mean, I'll get hypothermia, bronchitis. I mean, I'll go sick. I'm not a cold weather person. You know that. You know that. I may visit New York at some point, but it's gonna have to be when it's warm, when it's nice and warm for me. But hey, I appreciate you having me on your live stream. I know that I came up I came up late because I was busy with something else, but I still wanted to come on up and show you some support. So shout out to you. I appreciate you having me, and shout out to the other panelists, Armando, Gigi, Radical. It was good to talk to all of you guys. So thank you for having me.
Okay, so I'm not going to be doing a backstage tonight because it's getting kind of late. But
Got you.
we'll do one soon. So thank you very much, and let's hear from the cocaine ape. Your final
Yeah.
remarks regarding the topic.
Yes. How to manage the peanut gallery by the Cocaine Ape. Well, one thing I have to say, this segment was interesting, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to make more. I'm trying to be a better YouTuber or whatsoever. So thank you for having me on your panel, Don Jose. And
Thank you.
if you need anything for my future trip, just let me know.
Well, let me just let. I'm going to be going to. I'll be visiting Philadelphia at the end of next month.
All
So
right. So
yeah. So I'll text you the date. So basically, it'll be the last Thursday through the last Sunday of April.
All right.
Yeah, so well, and this time I'll treat you to a meal.
Oh, oh, of course.
Yes.
Thank you, Don Jose.
So thank you. So just to wrap it up, the whole purpose of this whole topic is how to deal with this thing collective, which I call the peanut gallery. The fact of the matter is, when it comes to dealing with certain individuals, you just have to know how to deal with it, how not to sink to their level, and to simply carry on. When everything is said and done, I mean, you cannot control what they say or do. However, you can control how you're going to respond. And taking the words from my cyber daughter, Denise Gonzalez, let the circus be the circus. So I appreciate everybody who stopped by on the panel and on the chat. Now, I'm going to be doing a stream this Thursday at 8 o'clock, and the topic will be how to find balance between work and family. Because sometimes we can have a struggle, we can struggle to maintain that balance. So I'm going to share my information about that. I will be doing a stream on Friday night on my other channel, which is known as Latina Diaspora. I still haven't figured out what I'm going to be talking about, but I will be sharing information about that on my next stream. And of course, Sunday, I'm going to be discussing where we as baby boomers had screwed up with Denise Gonzalez, which means I better get ready for the barbecue, which I'm going to be undergoing through.
Yeah. Brace yourself. But I'm gonna be looking forward to that.
Well,
I'm gonna check it out. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
but unlike certain individuals, I'm developing a thicker skin. I'm just a little disappointed regarding certain individuals on Denise's last panel that
Mhm.
that had issue with what Denise was saying. I mean, she was coming with solutions and this does that. Uh, those were not the solutions that were not well received. But then again, I mean, that's par for the course. In any
Yeah.
case, I appreciate all the love, and I also appreciate all those who watch this stream and the playback. And please, if you're not done so, please consider subscribing to this channel and set the bell notification to all. So therefore, whenever I do produce content, you will have the opportunity to catch it live or catch it on the playback. That being said, I just want to say thank you very much for all the time being with me and what have you. And let's be good to each other. And with that being said, this has been another of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron and peace.